different types of vision, vision and purpose, inspiring action, establishing a new vision, and how to put it all together. So last session we learned about the different types of vision. So there's destination vision and there's journey vision. Destination vision is when you have a clear established picture of where you're going. Journey vision is, we know there's a future state, we know if we live out what we've established as our values, we can get to what that future state is. Even if we don't know exactly what it is, it's just a better future. You need both of these in different circumstances, and people operate better. And some people can operate really well with just, I don't know where we're going exactly, but I'm on board to go there and make this better. Some people really need to have the destination vision mindset of, I need to know exactly what you need me to do so I can do it. And so you've got to kind of balance and understand what type of vision you need to cast for your team in order to be successful. Casting vision and creating purpose. So we talked about the parable of the 3 bricklayers. And what we learned was it's important to tell people the big picture. Otherwise, you run into the first bricklayer who just thinks he's there to put down one brick after another. The second one knows they're building a wall, but what happens when they're done building the wall? Do they know where to go next or why? And what is the level of engagement that they have in the job that they're doing? Probably not as much as the third bricklayer, who knows that after I'm done with this wall, I'm going to put the next one here because I'm building a cathedral. And there's more engagement, motivation, and purpose built into why they're doing what they're doing. We also heard from Simon Sinek last session, inspiring action through telling people why and starting with why. One of the quotes that I really liked from his session, especially as a marketer, is people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And this is something that I've been trying to reframe with my team back at work as well, is let's not just say what we do, let's talk about the change that it drives or why we're here what's the long-term goal of what we're doing. So if you turn kind of the model from what, how, why into why, how, what, inside out, it inspires a lot more action because people will be motivated when they believe what you believe and be more likely to engage with your brand or your cause. How to put your vision into action. So with your team, you need to establish their vision. And before I go into these, while I was thinking through this, I was thinking, you've got your corporate vision, your company vision, but also there's visions for projects, there's visions for teams. And I've fallen into the trap of as a leader, of knowing what the end goal is, but not communicating that well. Or just saying like, just take care of this thing, and then realizing, oh, you don't know these auxiliary things that are also important to know in order to do it right. So spending the time up front, establishing who needs what level of the vision. Is it the big picture vision, or is it just for your team? And then planning it out, which is an area that I fail at sometimes, where I'm just like, let's just go do it. And then I'm like, do what? Where are we going? Who's doing what? Sorry, I thought she handles that. Now am I doing the social media posts? And so spending the upfront time, and then it really just slows everybody down. So if you don't spend time to plan, you'll probably fail and move a lot slower. Planning early wins was also something that stuck out to me that we talked about last session. Making sure that you're rewarding your team along the way for little steps along your vision will help encourage motivation and keep people moving. Communication, which is ongoing. I'll put it forward to the visual that we saw last time. You need to communicate well the entire time. So once you've established what you're going to do, you really need to tell people what you're doing, why, how you're going to do it, and get the right people on board. Something that we say all the time, which I know my boss probably learned in this class, is you've got to communicate 7 different times in 7 different ways, because some people are visual learners, some people need to be reminded multiple times. I can't tell you how many times I'm like, I know I told you that, but I didn't write it in an email, so we didn't fully establish the right communication lines. And navigating resistance when it comes to communicating change in a vision. Get implementation. So the next step would be implementation, getting the right team on board and putting it into place. So not just assuming you can do it all yourself as the person who came up with the vision. A lot of times great visions need really good project managers, and that's an entirely different skill set oftentimes than the person who's creating the vision. So making sure you've got the right team in place who can set goals, establish expectations, and make sure people are achieving them will go a long way. And then over time, assess if your vision is working, what does success look like, or what would failure look like, and going back to really just evaluate if it's working or not. And then putting it all together. I love this. We have the benefit of having a lot of our team have gone through this program, so we actually used this earlier this year at my organization to help reestablish some of our purpose and vision and our strategic planning. And so it was really helpful to be reminded of we've got to say what our purpose is and then break it down. And once you can break things down into achievable tasks or goals and then put it all visually together and how it rolls up to your overarching purpose, allows people to understand why the one small task I'm doing today, maybe it's evaluating or changing some books for you, Natalie, feeds into the greater purpose of what you're trying to do, navigating this entire change. So really important and helpful visual there that we